Get ready for a sparkling adventure. In The Fox, the Wolf, and the Moon's Reflection, you'll discover how a clever fox uses a surprising trick to outsmart a thirsty wolf. One peaceful evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, a very hungry fox named Reynard trotted along a quiet path. His sleek, fiery red fur gleamed in the fading light, and his emerald green eyes twinkled as he searched for a tasty snack. He hadn't eaten all day, and his tummy rumbled with a growl. Suddenly he spotted something truly amazing. It was a perfect, round, glowing circle at the bottom of an old stone well. "Oh my!" he whispered, his bushy tail wagging with excitement. "A magnificent golden cheese, just for me." The well had two sturdy wooden pails, tied to a rope that moved up and down. Reynard, who was about the size of a small dog reaching a child's knee, thought quickly. He bounded towards the well, his heart thumping with anticipation. He carefully hopped into the uppermost pail, his weight making it creak loudly as it began its slow descent. Down, down, down he went, holding his breath until he splashed gently into the cool water at the bottom, with a soft plop. Reynard landed at the bottom of the well. He peered excitedly at the cheese, but his face fell with a gasp. What he saw wasn't cheese at all, but the shimmering reflection of the bright full moon. He had made a big mistake. His clever emerald green eyes darted around, but there was no tasty treat. Only cold, dark stone walls. Reynard, a small fox about a child's knee-high, felt a wave of worry wash over him, and a tiny whimper escaped his lips. Poor Reynard was stuck. He tried to jump, he tried to climb, but the well walls were too smooth and too high. 2 whole days and nights passed, and the clever fox grew thinner and more worried. The moon above, which had tricked him, slowly changed its shape. Rona paced around, his bright red fur now a little dusty, his once emerald eyes filled with a sad, hungry look. He began to feel truly hopeless, thinking he'd never escape this watery prison. Oh dear, he sighed softly, just when Reynard thought all hope was lost. He heard a rustling sound above. A large, parched wolf named Wolfie, with thick, shaggy gray fur and keen amber-yellow eyes, lumbered towards the well. Wolfie was much bigger than Reynard, reaching up to a child's waist, and his tongue hung out as he searched desperately for water. Reynard's ears perked up. A plan, a very clever plan, began to form in his foxy mind. "Comrade!" Reynard called out, his voice echoing from the well, trying to sound cheerful despite his hunger. "Come closer, my friend! I have discovered the most amazing treat down here. Look, do you see it? It's a magnificent, exquisite cheese, unlike any other." Wolfie, the big gray wolf, leaned over, his amber eyes blinking in confusion. Reynard, the little red fox, smiled slyly. "It's made by Faunus himself from the milk of the sacred heifer, Io. Even mighty Jupiter himself would regain his appetite with one taste." Reynard continued his fanciful story, his voice full of feigned delight. "I've only nibbled this tiny piece from it," he lied, pointing to the moon's reflection. "But there's plenty left for you, my dear Wolfie." Wolfie, still thirsty with his shaggy gray fur, squinted down, barely seeing the shimmering circle. "It's so delicious," Reynard insisted, "that I've saved the rest. Just come down in the empty pail up there. I put it there especially for you. Hurry before it's all gone." Wolfie, being a bit gullible and very, very thirsty, easily fell for Reynard's elaborate tale. With his powerful legs and much greater weight, the big gray wolf lumbered forward. He confidently stepped into the empty pail at the top of the well. With a loud creak and a groan, the rope began to move. Down, down, down went Wolfie, completely unaware of the fox's cunning plan. As Wolfie, the large wolf, descended into the well, Reynard, The small fox felt the pail he was in begin to rise. Up, up, up he went, swiftly and smoothly, out of the dark, cold well. With a triumphant whoopee, he leapt out onto the grass, shaking his fiery red fur dry. He didn't even look back at the confused, splashing Wolfie below. Reynard was finally free and much, much wiser. And so Reynard trotted away, a bit hungry but very relieved. We might think it's funny that the wolf was tricked so easily. But sometimes, when we really, really want something, or when we are very afraid of something, we might believe things that aren't quite true. It reminds us to think carefully and not always believe everything we hear, especially when it sounds too good to be true, or when we are feeling desperate or afraid.
Ever dreamed of being the hero? Now you get to be the star. Your adventure starts at TalesMio. Visit talesmio.com now.